Hey guys, Miata Man here, and today we're going to show you how to remove the gauge cluster without breaking everything, and how to do it without damaging the speedo cable that goes into the back of the cluster, and a couple of little tricks to help you get this thing apart quickly and easily without any headaches. So first thing we want to do, I've got this one already taken apart and then put back together for your benefit. I got halfway through and thought I better make a video on this for you guys real quick. So first thing we want to do is we want to take the screws that hold this clamshell together. I'll quickly show you the side of it here. So there's two halves of it, and underneath there's a Phillips head screw in here, another one there, which should be a machine screw, and let me come around the other side for you. And so we've got a total of four. We got 1, 2, 3, and then up this, there's a long hole there where the fourth one is. So once you've taken all those out, like we have here, then we can crack the clamshell apart like that and like that. You can see how it goes together. There's those little pins here. There's a pin there that's, oh yeah, that's in good shape still. So there's these little pins. You want to make sure when you put it back together that you line it back up with that little hole right there. Okay, so once you've got that off, then you can carefully just sort of pull it forwards and out. It's a lot easier with two hands. Okay, hang on. There we go. Now this one had a switch attached to it, which has been disconnected. It's caught up in there. Now, there we go. So that's the top half of the clamshell. You can leave the bottom half on. There's no need to take the bottom half off, okay? So now, what I want to show you next is the cluster hood here. That's the plastic shell that goes over the gauge cluster. Now, there's another Phillips screw here, which we've already taken out, and there's another one over here. So you'll need to undo those before you try to pull this off. So once you've got those out, you can gently pull it forward and it should come out. Now, how it's held on is, here, I'll show you at the back of the hood here. There's a clip there in the middle, another one on the side there, and there's another one over here. So we've got 3 of them in total, and those correspond with, that's the center one there, another one there, and then another one there. Now, 9 times out of 10, they break off when you try and get these hoods off. So you want to be very careful to pull straight towards you when you're trying to pull it off. Don't bend it upwards or you're going to break those clips 100%. They're going to break off because they're very brittle from sitting in the sun for all these years. So this one here, I was quite surprised we still had, you know, basically 3 out of 4. The middle one's actually not bad either, but it's a little bit broken. But 3 out of 4 of these, or sorry, 2 out of 3, not 3 out of 4, came off no problem. So there you go. So center one's slightly damaged, but the main pin's still there. The side ones are great, they're still intact, and that's quite rare for that to happen. So we're off to a good start there. So next, what you want to do is you want to take out the Phillips screws that would be in here. So you've got a total of 4 of those. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've taken those out already to speed things up for you. So next, now we can pull this forward a little bit, okay? Just wriggle it forward a bit. And the next thing we want to do is undo the electrical connectors. Right there. And right there. So I'm going to reach in and get that for you. This is a two-handed job as well, but I think I can do it. So push in that little pin there, and then you can slide it out. There we go, there's one. This one It's got this weird electrical box in for the LED backlight on the gauge cluster. So it's in the way, but there we go. So once you've got those out, you're almost there. The next main thing you have to be very careful of is that right there. That white tube that you can see there is the end of the speedometer cable. And if you look down this side here, right where I'm pointing, you can see a bit of a tab there. What you want to do is you want to push that end in at the back, and then you can release it. If you try and pull it out without doing that, you're going to break it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to try and push right there. And if I do that, I'm hoping it will release. I'm just trying to get my hand in there at the same time. And quite often what I'll do is I'll actually go outside the car and I'll reach in and I'll try and do it that way, because it's pretty tough to see when you're in here, especially if it's on a funny angle like this one is. There's really not a lot of room to get your hand in there. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to take the bit from my screwdriver here and I'm going to feed it in between and just see, using the camera as a mirror here so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, that should release it if I've got that in the right spot. So now I just need to hold that with my one hand and see if I can wriggle it out. Move it in a little bit. Like I said, this is that one thing you have to know how to do in order to do this job. So it's not easy to see, but we will get it, and then you'll see why it's so important. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to, there we go. There it is, I got it. So, okay. There we are. So now you can see, now the end of this, here, let me pull the gauge cluster right out for you now. Now that we've got that off, we're good to go. There we go. So right there in the center of the screen, that's the end of the speedo cable. And there's a little thing that turns in there. You can see it's a little square thing. Let's see if I can point at it for you. There you go. So that's what turns it and runs the speedometer. And that little tab at the bottom there is what locks it in. So that's what we were trying to release when we were rummaging around in the back there. So that is probably the most important thing you need to know about this whole job. So there you go. I'll zoom you back out here. I'm going to show you the back of the speedo here, just a second. And so that's what it goes into. And as you can tell, it's pretty dirty in there. So it's not a bad idea if you're pulling the speedo cluster out, or the cluster assembly here, is to re-grease that. And also you might want to replace a bunch of the bulbs as well, because you've got quite a few of these bulbs in here that are quite old in a lot of cases. So we'll take one out for a sec. These look like they might have been done at some point. So we've got, get that back in. There we go. Some hair in there. Yeah, so the ones that are easy to find, you can get them at the local parts place quite easily. These big ones here, some of them will have, they'll just be clear. And some of them, if we pull them out, are going to be probably like this one here. It's probably going to have a green thing on it, unless, well, somebody's, oh, there we go. So when they LED'd this thing, they took the bulb out. But if we look at some of them, I think the ones with the green are the ones, they're going to have like a little green condom on them to make them glow green. And the rest will all be clear if they've got a black housing. So the green ones should be like that. But like I say, some of these are, some of them are missing because of this LED thing. So there you go, guys. That's how you get this thing out without breaking it. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and hit that like button for me, please. Subscribe to the channel as well. I'll make you more videos soon. Thanks.